Welcome to Nicola Del Din and to our as a guest lecturer here today for our course on Made in Italy. So instead of talking and saying too much, I just leave the floor to Nicola, who will also introduce our also the other guests today. Yes. And tonight for you.
So thanks a lot, Arianna, for having me at your class. I hope that everything will be clear and interesting. And moreover, we were joking. I hope you all understand my English. And also tell me if something is not clear. As I said, I also want to thank André Belanger, who is connected from Montreal, I think, who is our Canadian distributor. And I don't know if he's already connected, also Lorenzo Sfoggia, who is the son of our distributor in the US from New York, from Long Island. So thank you for being here. So if you want to add something related to, how to distribute an Italian brand in your markets, it is very appreciated. I think mainly at the end. So I prepared a presentation. I am Italian, and so I will use a lot of words. So cut me if you need. I will try to be short. I think 30, 35, 40 minutes maximum. I try to speed up everything. I hope everything will be clear. Let me know if I'm too quick sometimes on some slides. So I start.
Sorry, before I just interrupt you to let the students know that Nicola has received all your questions and he will try to answer most of them during the presentation, but also during the final Q&A. Thank you for that, Nicola. Go ahead.
Yes, so I try to go on quickly and in an understandable way. So this is the title. We will understand better what it means with the next slides. BlackFin, a brand new 50-year-old company. It sounds weird, but actually represents very well the story of our company. You will understand why. Now, first, I want, let's say, to start whetting your appetite, starting with 4 images that represent 4 absolute milestones of this story, and 4 pictures that alone represent a journey of quite 150 years, not only of our company, but of this eyewear district we are in. So let's see them together. So the first one, 1878. This is a picture of the first, in Italian, fabbrica occhiali, so eyewear factory, of the eyewear district. Second picture of 1961. This is a picture of the birthplace of the world leader, which is Luxottica. I don't know if you know this name. I think some of you, however, you will understand that during the presentation, and also speaking with André, because André worked, I think, for many years for this important multinational. However, Luxottica is the most important factory and company in the eyewear world. They have now a kind of 140,000 employees, so absolutely the #1 in the world. Third picture of 1971. This picture represents our past, so our old factory, an old building of the 70s. And the last one, a picture of this year. This represents our future. This, let's say, futuristic building is our new headquarters. And, we are finishing right now the construction. And I'll better explain about this building later on. So again, I want to share with you some other quick company milestones in order to offer you a complete picture of the story I'll share with you this morning. So first concept, our company was founded 50 years ago as a spin-off of Luxottica, the multinational I just told you, the leading eyewear manufacturer. To let you understand, they are not only producing, they own Ray-Ban, they own Oakley. I think 99% of you will think they are American brands. On the contrary, they are, they have an American origin, but they are owned by this big company. So we are a spin-off, let's say, of this huge company. Second concept, we are known as the first and most experienced titanium eyewear producer in Italy. Third concept, for quite 40 years, we produce metal glasses for the most important eyewear brands in the world. Fourth, sad concept, we have fallen in the early 2000 into deep crisis because of low-cost international competitors, and this is the reason why we decided to start with our own brand. So actually, we completely restarted our business and as an independent design brand. So let's see everything right from the start. However, with this introduction, you have already a quick but complete picture of the story. So first, the Eyewear Valley, as I call our district. I don't know if you know where we are. I saw that a lot of you already checked our website, so I think you understood where we are. However, obviously, your course is made in Italy. So we are in Italy, but we are in a special region of Italy. We are in the top north of the region of Venice, which is named in Italian Veneto. This is a zooming of the north of Italy. The Belluno province, Belluno is the capital, small capital of our region, of our province, is the white one. We are in the middle of the mountains, very beautiful mountains, like I think the ones you're used to there in Canada. And we are right in the middle of this area. This area is known actually as the Eyewear Valley, Eyewear District. For your information, we are right in the middle of this district, not only geographically, but also culturally. Actually, we can say that the eyewear industry in Italy was born here, and we are surrounded by eyewear companies, suppliers, and people experienced in eyewear. And, we can really say here you can breathe the eyewear culture. For your understanding, 80% of the revenues of the Italian eyewear industry come from this district. And, considering that the Italian eyewear industry is the most important in the world, and considering that 80% comes from this very small province, you can understand that here quite everyone is working in the eyewear industry. Because, we are in a small land of 250,000 people at the beginning and in the middle of the mountains. And there are 300 companies working in this business, and there are about 12,000 workers in this eyewear district in this area, on a total of 18,000 in Italy. So these to give you an understanding of the area. So as I said, everything started in 1878. So in Cadore, so the northern part of this province, where everything started, on that period, this very small eyewear factory was established. So more than 100 years ago, 150 years ago. So this is the first important milestone. As I said, however, a second important milestone for the eyewear sector and for our story is 1961, because here in Agodo, Agodo is the name of our small town at the beginning of the Dolomites region, is where this small factory established 50, 60 years ago now. And from this very small building, they became the most important eyewear company in the world. They are, let's say, 3-4 miles far from here. No, so I can see the factory from our window, so you can understand that we are very near to them. And it's very important and very nice to understand that Maria Pramaor, you can see her. I don't know if you see my pointer. This is my mother.
Yes.
No?
Yes.
With a kind of 10 inches of hair over the head. actually, that as I can see from the picture, you know, that was the style of that period, because all the friends of my mother had the same haircut. You know, she was my mother. She's the founder of my company, and she was the 18th worker of Luxottica. So she was there on the day one of the most important multinational in the eyewear sector. So it's a strange and special story, as you can understand. Obviously, you don't know our sector, you don't know this area, but I tell you, it's something very special, because the birth of this great and big factory and company here changed completely the future of this area. So it completely was a kind of a bomb, you know, a positive bomb in this area. No, so my mother was there on the day one, and she worked in Luxottica for 9 years as an employee. After, in 1971, as other friends working in Luxottica decided to do, my mother came out from, as a spin-off from Luxottica, and opened her own laboratory, working only for Luxottica. So, but you know, I'm speaking about a laboratory, a small artisan workshop of a few ladies. Another special thing is that all the first employees of my mother were only women. So, very special thing. A small company in the 70s opened by a lady, and all the workers were ladies. So something very special in a special place with a very special company, Luxottica. It is a very nice, you know, family story and, you know, business story. So these are the first employees of my mother. And as I already said, they were working only for Luxottica. You can imagine that, you know, something like in the morning, my mother went to Luxottica to take the things to do. And in the evening, she brought back the things done. So a very easy and simple way of doing things. Now, in 85, however, Luxottica, so after quite 15 years, Luxottica became larger and larger. And so Luxottica decided to vertically integrate all the production steps. So my mother didn't want to be absorbed again in Luxottica, and decided to go on her own road. No? And so she, with the help of my father, who was not working in the company before. My father before was the director of a quite big furniture company of the area. He came to help my mother to organize better the company, and they started to make metal frames, not titanium, normal metal eyewear frames for other big companies of the area. So they stopped with Luxottica, and they started with other big companies of the district. In 90, immediately, you know, so after 4 or 5 years after my the starting of my father inside the company, he decided to start to produce titanium glasses. You know, immediately he understood that in this area it was too easy to make money, making eyewear everywhere. And saying everywhere, I mean in every garage, every house, every small building. Everybody in our province were producing glasses. He understood that this was not normal. He understood that this was dangerous. He considered this like a kind of tic-tac bomb waiting to explode. No? And so he thought, we have to make something different. We have to be different. And he decided to go to Japan to buy and understand the technology to make pure titanium glasses. Before, in Italy, nobody was making titanium glasses in this sector. And so this is the reason why they started to make this kind of product. This is a picture of our production steps. And so it took some time to become good in soldering and coloring this material, titanium, which is, as I said, very difficult to solder and to color. Now, it took 2-3 years. only in testing in order to make something with a good quality. After we started to work with a lot of customers, mainly in Germany. Unfortunately, in 98, my father passed away. No, so I was only 23 years old. It was very difficult because I was alone, and the following years, mainly the early 2000s, were really tough times because mainly for me, because I was alone at the age of 23, 24. So without my father, so without a guide, and also without the customers, because at the end of 90 and at the beginning of 2000, all the most important customers, they decided to move to the Far East to buy the products. No? So a lot of customers, they moved there. So the difficulty was double. I was alone without my father, and the customers were running away. So very, very difficult period. And so, I tried to find every day a solution to stay alive. The good thing is that every day we became better and better in producing high quality titanium frames. But, we had a very strong competition in terms of price, mainly from China. No? And so, we continued to make very high quality, for example, Mont Blanc titanium and carbon fiber glasses for Marcolin, which is another important company of the area, and other important companies here. No, but it was really, really tough because of very, very low prices. Actually, we were every day losing money. No, at the end, around 2005 and 6, we came back to working with Luxottica. So, we go back to the start, making in this occasion titanium glasses again for Luxottica with a very, very low price. No, so it was really difficult, but it was the only solution I had on that period to stay alive. But in the meanwhile, I understood that there was another kind, let's say, another type of a possible world outside, because as a standard OEM producer of this eyewear district, I thought it was possible to sell glasses and sunglasses with a high price, only putting a fashion brand on the temple. No, but on the early 2000s, I started to visit international fashion shows, eyewear shows in Milan, in Paris, in New York, and I understood that there was a possibility of selling very special independent design glasses at a very high price without a fashion brand on the temple. And in this way, I answer also to a question of one of the students. I was impressed mainly by a company which is named Lindberg. I think you don't know it. It is a Danish company. They are making high quality and high price titanium glasses. I saw them at these fashion and eyewear shows, and I thought, oh wow, it is possible to be independent. It is possible to sell something at a high price with no fashion name. And from that point, I started to think about our own possible road. Now, this is a picture of me. Unfortunately, I'm not Brad Pitt, so I'm sorry for all the girls of your curse. In 2007, so at the end of our difficult times, really on that year, we were quite bankrupt, because really we were selling since some years a lot of frames for a too low price. I met Giancarlo Recchia, my partner. He owns 25% of the company, and let's say we can call him a kind of a business angel. He decided to invest in my company, not because of the numbers, because the numbers were really a disaster. And let's say, using the word disaster, I think it's a kind of too positive view of the situation, because we were really at the end of our history and our story. but he believed in our technical knowledge and in my vision of being independent. So I started with Giancarlo, my second life inside this company. And from there, we started to make our own glasses. So in 2008, we presented the first BlackFin product, but on that period, BlackFin was only a product. There was no story and no storytelling strategy. You know, at the beginning, BlackFin was only a small test together with the main basic products we were selling. Now, this is the first BlackFin we presented, but we had to wait 2013 in order to start to be a real brand. So let's say I consider 2013 the real birth year of the brand. Actually, in 2013, we had a collection together with a storytelling strategy. So a complete story to tell. There was another slide, only for your information. We stopped in 2010 as an OEM supplier. So I remember that the last order we made as an OEM supplier was made for Loro Piana. Do you know, it is a very important, cashmere, luxury cashmere brand, Italian brand. So from 2013, we started with this product and storytelling strategy. And this is a picture of our first campaign of 2013. And, in 2000, sorry, this is another intermediate step. In 2015, we bought our external coloring supplier. So from this year, we make everything inside our company. So this is very important to understand that we do everything inside our company with our own hands. So we buy the titanium in Japan, we bring the raw material here, but from the beginning and mainly from 2015, we do everything inside this building. Sorry, this is something to underline exactly who we are. Now, third step of our product strategy starts in 2017. From this year, we started the third phase of our strategy, which incorporates obviously a good product, a storytelling based on a real and true story, and a design strategy. So from 2017, we started to work with a new designer, and we are trying to be not only a company that makes very good products, but we are trying to be also a design company. Obviously, you can understand it's not easy, mainly if you start as an OEM supplier, a very basic OEM supplier, but this is what we are trying to do. This is a picture of another frame and another old campaign we shot in Sicily on the Etna volcano in 2017 or 18. In 2019, so 2 years ago, this is our last step in our strategy, is to widen the portfolio of our products. And we are trying to move from the one product company, because all our customers know us as the producer of a special kind of structure in the frame. So we use a 2 millimeter thick block of titanium on the front and very flexible beta titanium temples. So from 19, we are trying to move not only from this kind of product, but we are trying to move also to a complete titanium range of products. This, for example, is a picture of a new family of products, much thinner and very flexible, we introduced 1 year ago. Another important concept to keep in mind about our company is that we are in a very special place. So we are, as I told you, in the center of the Eyewear district, but we are also in the middle of the Dolomites. No? And we consider this very important. This is a picture of the sunset in our mountains. I know very well that in Canada you have wonderful mountains, but I suggest also to visit these ones because they are really wonderful. No? They are known as pale mountains, because in the evening they become pink because of the special mineral that is contained in the walls of the mountains. So actually, this is a special situation because we have here big industry, but actually we are in a place that should be a wonderful tourist place. So it's kind of strange and special situation. So we consider this important to live and to work in the middle of this beauty, because we think that if you live in a beautiful place, you can only and you have to make beautiful things. So, and we think this is not by chance, but we think there is a connection between these two things. And moreover, we are still here. So with this, we mean that we never moved from here. We made the first glass here, and we still produce everything here. So we never moved to, for example, the Far East or other countries to have a cheaper product. Proudly, we used and we underline our heritage. We are expressing every day with our work. This is another picture of our region. And then we arrive to an important key concept, Neo Made in Italy. This is a keyword that we created and we write in our glasses. Sorry, Arianna, how much time do we have? Because
I have to unmute myself. Yes, you still have 10 minutes if you want, and before 7-8 minutes if you want to, before you can start with your Q&A. Yeah, sure.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Sorry. I reset the timer here, so I have a timing. So Neo Made in Italy is an important keyword that we created inside our company. We use this keyword in all our communication, and we write this keyword in all our products. What does it mean? It means, and I try to represent this concept with the chart, it not only represents that we produce everything, and I mean 100% in Italy. So if you see the point, this is, the area that underlines the 100 and made in Italy area. So Neo Made in Italy obviously means that we produce everything in Italy, because you can do also obviously glasses in other countries. And what we don't like is to use non-ethical and low-cost offshore manufacturing. I don't want to say that only Italy makes high-quality frames. Also other countries, also in China, you can find very good manufacturers. In France, there are other very good manufacturers. What we don't like is the non-ethical and low-cost ways of doing. So we hate this kind of way. We don't like the brands that they produce something in low-cost and non-ethical areas, and they bring these products to Italy, printing made in Italy on the product. We hate this, and we don't do this. So obviously, we do everything in Italy, but Neo Made in Italy doesn't mean only this. Neo Made in Italy means also that we have a real environmental responsibility, and also a real, not only a fake, but a real social and cultural responsibility. So I make some examples in order to understand that what I say is real. First, we take care of user well-being. So titanium is a completely 100% biocompatible. We use the same material used in medical implants. So it's completely biocompatible. This is a picture of our frames. We think that people is the most important asset we have. This is a picture of 3 years ago of some of our employees. We are around 100 people in the company and 30 reps on the ground in Europe. And moreover, we have 20 distributors around the world, as André and Lorenzo, who are connected to our event. Sorry, I'm trying to speed up. Environmental responsibility is very important because obviously we love our places, but moreover, we do this in a real way, not only in terms of marketing. For example, all our POP material doesn't use plastic, for example, or this is very, very strong as a concept. I want to present you the BlackFin Black Shelter, which is our new home. This is a rendering of our new headquarters. And this is a picture of one month ago. We are finishing the construction of this building, which is a 5-floor building in the same place where we founded the company. And, it is very strong in the image. And moreover, this is the first building of our region, the Venice region, which is really eco-sustainable certified. Here we call this certification Klima House. So it is the only building in our region certified as a green building. So we are completely autonomous in terms of energy. No? Sorry, I'm trying to speed up. Sorry for the quick. For example, these are some pictures of our offices where I am now. For example, I call this window you see here, I call this window the Neo Made in Italy window, because it represents the connection between the beauty of the nature we have outside and also the heritage we use every day in our production. And this window connects this heritage world together with the innovation we have inside our factory in terms of products and also in terms of design, as you can see from the office. Last concept, titanium, which is our soul. As you understood, all our products are made by titanium. Sorry, but I'm speeding up everything. Titanium is very light, is 50% lighter than stainless steel. It is strong as stainless steel. It is completely biocompatible. So it is really a better material than other metals. We are trying to join two cultures, the quality of the raw material of the Japanese culture with the talent of Italians in terms of fashion. It's not easy to join these two cultures, but this is what we are trying to do. And for this reason, actually, we are the only company that is making this in Italy. We love what we are doing since 50 years, so we don't call this a production step. We call this a rite of passage. I'm trying to speed up really quickly. It is biocompatible. Huh? Some product highlights, so some pictures of our products. We are very well known for optical frames, so our products are very technical. However, we are introducing also sunglasses, also with special shapes like this one. But mainly, we are very well known for technical products and optical products. This is a new product we just presented, very, very light. Another interesting for you, I think, a concept, market positioning. So BlackFin is a kind of a premium independent brand. I prepared quickly this chart in order to understand that we are not competing with Luxottica, for example, the big company I told you before. Actually, in my opinion, the eyewear market is divided into 4 areas. Obviously, budget brands. So these products are obviously not made in Italy because of cost reasons. So they have normally classic styles and a low price. In the middle, obviously, there are the mass brands like Ray-Ban, for example, owned by this big company. They have, average design and average price. The average price on the market, plus or minus, is around 130, 140 US dollars. No? For your information, for example, our average price on the market is 400, 450 US dollars. So we are not a luxury item, but we are much higher than the average. So we are not competing with mass brands. On a special design, you have the fashion brands like, for example, Dior, Gucci, brands like these. which normally have a kind of special design and a little higher price or much higher price. And you have the independent area where we are in, where you have independent and privately, let's say, owned companies like BlackFin, which offer a kind of special design, obviously different from the one of fashion brands or mass brands. And normally the price is higher or much higher than the mass brands. Sorry, I'm trying to go very quickly, but this concept I think can be very useful for you. Last point, our credo, so let's say the marketing area of our story. The first point, I think also Professor Morace told you about this concept because he likes a lot the difference between storytellers and story doers. I consider BlackFin the perfect representation of a story doer. You know better than me that a lot of brands start their business from an invented story, and around this invented story, they build the product and the company. No? On the opposite, on the contrary, we really start from a real story of a real Italian manufacturing, OEM supplier, and from this level of being only a basic OEM producer, we try to learn how to tell this real story. So actually our story is the opposite of 99% of all the other brands. Now, we didn't know how to tell the story, but we had in our own hands a very nice and real story. No? So it's important to understand this. For this reason, we consider ourselves a story doer, not a storyteller. Some images from To the Roots 2021, our last campaign. We shot this campaign in the Venice Lagoon. We shot this campaign there, obviously because with COVID, it was not easy to move very far like we did in previous years. In the previous years, we went to Lanzarote Island out of Africa. We went to Bulgaria. We went in Sicily to the Etna volcano. This year, we decided for logistic reasons, but also for coherence reasons, to shoot this campaign in the Venetian Lagoon because it represents our origin, geographically, but mainly also cultural origin. No? So really, Venice and its lagoon represents our way of thinking. And in a so difficult period like this COVID period, we try to understand who we really are and to go back to the real values of being Italian, of being Venetian, and of being a real manufacturer of this area. Some pictures of this campaign, and I really finished now. I'm going very quickly. This is very nice. This is the main image of the campaign, so very abstract. And I want to underline that all we do is coherent also in physical spaces. I show you, for example, 2 pictures of our previous booth in the trade shows. This was with this booth we won the first prize as the best booth in Mido in Milano, which is the most important trade show of the world in 2015. And this is our last booth of 1 year ago. The difference between our booths and the booth of our competitor is that they are made in metal and they are made with the same technology we used to make our frames and we used to make our building. So everything is coherent 360 degrees. Now, normally when you make a trade show, you use, let's say like carton building, something very, very cheap and very quick. On the contrary, we moved on something very solid in order to transmit the solidity of our message. And again, very coherent in physical spaces, again, with our building. If you come to Italy, I hope you will come soon. It will mean that all this mess is ending. No? So I hope COVID will disappear soon from this world. I hope to have you here as visitor. If you come to Venice, it takes only 1 hour and a half to visit us. So you are very welcome to visit us here. I close with this quote, which of Dalai Lama, which perfectly represents our way of thinking, no? Because we like to have the wings to fly. So we like so much to be international, but we like to be international with the roots well planted into our ground, our Venetian, in our region, our mountain ground. And we like to go in the world, but we like a lot to go back here and to stay here and to share with you our heritage and our values. Grazie, thank you. So I have some notes of some questions of Anna.